7 Sagittarius secrets that reveal their dark side. What if the happiest person you know is actually dying inside? A Sagittarius carries the reputation of being pure light, eternal optimism, and an unstoppable thirst for adventure. But what few people realize is that behind that radiant smile and contagious laughter lies a darkness they rarely allow anyone to see. Today we will rip off the mask of the Zodiac's great adventurer and reveal 7 dark secrets of Sagittarius, truths that will forever change the way you see this sign. And listen carefully. The 6th truth is so disturbing it might make your blood run cold. And the final revelation. Some say it is the most dangerous secret in the entire Zodiac. You've been warned. The symbol of Sagittarius, the centaur, half man, half beast, is not just a mythological figure. It represents the eternal conflict between reason and instinct, between the light of knowledge and the shadow of desire. Sagittarius runs, seeks, and chases horizons, but deep down, they often don't even know what they are truly searching for. And this is where we begin to peel back the hidden layers of the Sagittarius soul. But before we dive into these secrets, I need to ask you something. Have you ever felt this hidden darkness in a Sagittarius? Or maybe you are a Sagittarius watching this right now, already feeling exposed? If that's the case, drop it in the comments. Show that you are ready to face the truth. And remember, if you truly want to survive what comes next, you must subscribe right now and ring that notification bell. Because once you discover the dark side not only of Sagittarius, but of every zodiac sign, there will be no turning back. The rabbit hole goes much deeper than you think. And this is only the beginning. Get ready. Now, let's destroy everything you thought you knew about Sagittarius. First truth. Sagittarius's optimism is not always light. Often it is a mask to hide a deep fear, the emptiness of their own existence. Sagittarius is known for laughing loudly, lighting up any room, and infecting everyone with their enthusiasm. But is that joy always real? What most people don't realize is that behind the jokes, the travels, and the seemingly endless energy lies a silent abyss. This sign fears silence. They fear stillness, because when the noise of the world fades, when there are no more friends around, no parties, no exotic destinations to chase, they are forced to face their scariest reflection, the emptiness within. And in that moment, their happiness becomes a disguise, a veil covering profound existential doubts. How many Sagittarians do you know who seem to smile all the time, but when they're alone, sink into heavy thoughts? The loud laughter may actually be a muffled scream, a desperate attempt to convince themselves that everything is fine. This is the paradox of the archer. They aim their arrows at the sky, as if chasing the light, but often shoot far away from themselves, trying to escape the weight they carry inside. Optimism is beautiful, yes, but it can also be dangerous when it becomes pure denial. Let me ask you, have you ever noticed that the happiest person in the room might be hiding the greatest sadness? That is the first dark truth of Sagittarius. Joy can be nothing more than the makeup covering a pain no one else sees. Second truth, Sagittarius loves freedom, but this obsession can turn into a prison. Running from visible chains, they end up creating invisible ones that prevent them from truly connecting. Sagittarius breathes freedom like it's oxygen. Traveling, changing, starting over. It all feels natural to the archer. But what most people don't realize is that this thirst for independence can quietly transform into a hidden cage. They run from anything that feels like limitation. Relationships, commitments, responsibilities. They escape from what they see as chains. But in that constant escape, they build invisible walls around themselves. It's as if they always keep their bags packed, never staying long enough to grow roots. And here lies the dark secret. This limitless freedom can push people away, destroy bonds, and leave Sagittarius alone in the middle of infinite horizons. The quest for independence, when taken to the extreme, does not free them. It traps them. It is the prison of eternal escape. the fear of being captured by what, deep down, could give their life true meaning, real connection. Think about it. What's the point of conquering the entire world if there's no one by your side to share the victories with? Sagittarius runs toward infinity, but often forgets that infinity can also be lonely. So let me ask you, how many times have you seen a Sagittarius vanish, disappear without a trace, simply because the weight of connection felt heavier than the fear of solitude? This is the second dark truth of the Archer. The freedom they worship may be the very thing that condemns them to live chained by invisible bonds. Third truth, Sagittarius doesn't just seek adventure. They are running from themselves. The world is their refuge, but also their excuse to avoid facing their own demons. From the outside, Sagittarius looks enviable. What an amazing life, always traveling, always chasing new experiences, always with another thrilling story to tell. But is all that restlessness truly love for adventure? Or is it fear of looking within? Sagittarius turns the world into a giant stage, but often it's just an escape. Each new destination, each new group of friends, each new thrill may actually be a mask, a way to avoid listening to the silent screams of their own soul. It's as if the external world reflects everything except what really matters, themselves. And here lies the shadow. The more they run, the further they drift from the truth. The road that takes them to new horizons also pulls them away from the inevitable confrontation with their own wounds. It's like trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it. Adventure becomes anesthesia, a temporary remedy that soothes but never heals. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some Sagittarians can never stop? They always need a new plan, a new trip, a new challenge. But the moment they pause, the emptiness surfaces. This is the great irony of the Archer. The more they try to escape themselves, the deeper they fall into the abyss they carry within. So let me ask you, is this endless pursuit of experiences really a thirst for life, or just fear of facing their own darkness? That is the third dark truth of Sagittarius. Adventure is their excuse not to confront their inner ghosts. Fourth truth, Sagittarius's honesty is legendary, but it can also be a sharp weapon. Their truth can illuminate or destroy, like an arrow straight to the heart. Sagittarius takes pride in being direct. I just say it as it is. They claim. Believing blunt honesty is always a virtue, and in many cases, it is. They can't stand masks or hypocrisy, and would rather lose someone through truth than keep them through lies. But the shadow appears when this honesty stops being clarity and turns into cruelty. Sagittarius can shoot words like arrows without measuring the depth of the wound they leave behind. What they consider just the truth might feel like a death sentence to someone else, crushing self-esteem, shattering dreams, and even tearing relationships apart. That is the power of the arrow, to illuminate the target or to pierce it mercilessly. And here lies the dark contradiction. Sagittarius often believes they're helping by saying what no one else dares to say. But deep down, they may simply be unloading an internal frustration, a discomfort they cannot face within themselves. Have you noticed how some Sagittarians can be brutally harsh with their words? How they can, in seconds, tear apart someone who took years to rebuild. That is the dark side of Sagittarius honesty. The arrow that was meant to guide can become a poisoned dart that never returns. So let me ask you, is honesty always a virtue? Or is it at times the perfect mask for cruelty? This is the fourth dark truth of Sagittarius. Their honesty can be light, or the deadliest weapon in the entire zodiac. Fifth truth, behind Sagittarius's laughter lie crises of faith. They question everything, even what seems sacred. Sagittarius is the sign of big ideals, philosophy, and the endless search for meaning. They often appear to walk with unshakable confidence in the future and in their own path. But what few realize is that beneath this image of faith and enthusiasm lies a restless mind, constantly torn apart by doubt. They may laugh loudly, preach optimism, and inspire others, but when night falls and silence takes over, the Archer questions everything. The faith they display during the day may be the same one they secretly destroy within themselves at night. Here lies the shadow. Sagittarius can lose themselves in a labyrinth of spiritual and philosophical uncertainties. The more they search for answers, the more they realize that every certainty crumbles into new questions. Laughter, in this case, becomes a curtain, a way to conceal that, deep down, they live in an almost existential conflict. Have you noticed how some Sagittarians, despite their confident appearance, go through moments of deep emptiness where nothing seems to make sense? It is in these moments that the very light they radiate goes out, and a darkness fills the room. So let me ask you, how can one fully trust someone who questions even their own beliefs? That is Sagittarius's hidden wound, inspiring faith in others while secretly wrestling with their own doubts. This is the fifth dark truth. Behind their laughter lies chaos, and behind their faith, a heart in eternal mistrust. Sixth truth. When they feel they've lost control, the archer can turn into an arsonist, burning everything around them just to avoid admitting their own weakness. Sagittarius despises the feeling of being trapped or vulnerable. They are seen as strong, independent masters of their own fate. But when life corners them, when they realize they can't keep the reins of a situation, something dark awakens inside them. Instead of acknowledging fragility, Sagittarius may choose destruction. It's as if they say, if I can't win, then no one walks away, unscathed. And this is the disturbing secret. The sign that inspires hope can, in its darkest moments, become the agent of chaos. Relationships, friendships, projects. Nothing is safe when the archer enters this state. The same energy that drives them to conquer the world can transform into fire that devours everything around them. It's no wonder many describe Sagittarius as too intense or even dangerous when pushed to the edge. This is the wound they hide, the fear of powerlessness, the fear of admitting they're not always as strong as they pretend to be. And instead of facing that pain, they would rather watch everything collapse than accept the feeling of defeat. So let me ask you, how many times have you seen someone destroy what they loved most, just to avoid admitting they were lost? That is the sixth dark truth of Sagittarius. When they lose control, they would rather light the fire than confess their own weakness. Seventh truth, Sagittarius is the eternal seeker, but the curse lies in never finding. The emptiness they try to fill outside always returns, and that is their most dangerous shadow. The archer points their arrow at the horizon, believing that the next trip, the next love, the next challenge will be the answer. But the dark truth is that Sagittarius lives in an endless search that never truly ends. The closer they think they are to finding it, the more they realize the emptiness is still there, silently waiting. They search in the world for what can only be found within themselves. But since they refuse to face this reality, they keep running, as if the road had no end. This is the cursed cycle, never stopping, never resting, always chasing something that, deep down, may not even exist. And the danger is that this emptiness consumes them. The people around them may get pulled into this endless search, becoming just another chapter, another station where Sagittarius stays briefly, before moving on again. Those who get too close risk becoming victims of this shadow, a heart that never feels satisfied, a spirit that never finds peace. So let me ask you, how can you love someone who always seems to be leaving? How can you trust a traveler who, even while standing next to you, already has their eyes fixed on another horizon? This is the seventh and final dark truth of Sagittarius, the curse of eternal seeking, the wound that never heals, the emptiness that, no matter how much time passes, always comes back to demand its price. These were the 7 dark truths of Sagittarius. Many only see the freedom, the joy, and the quest for knowledge of the archer. But few dare to look at the shadows hidden behind that adventurous smile. Sagittarius can be an inspiration or a storm. They can open doors or leave hearts in ruins. The truth is, the brighter the light a sign carries, the darker the shadows it tries to hide. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever lived with a Sagittarius and noticed any of these truths? Or maybe you are one yourself and recognized your own shadows? Leave your comment below. Your opinion might appear in future videos. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we will reveal the dark truths of every zodiac sign. The next one might be yours.